Welcome to IP Solutions Tech Talk, where we discuss different technical topics around telco and IP networking. Today's topic is SIP. If we go back 15 years in time, I recall SIP being the big thing that would transform the usability and making internet kind of commercial. A lot of companies had circuit switch solutions, telephony solutions, and they saw great winnings with replacing those solutions with SIP-based ones. Then the internet took another turn, and advertising and social networking became the big thing instead. And so I kind of wonder today, what's the status of SIP? How is SIP today? To enlighten me in this subject, I have Taisto Kvist, who is working with development of SIP and other solutions, and to help me to understand this. What is SIP?
Well, the simplest explanation I use when I describe SIP is that it's like interactive email. I mean, it's based on the email and web protocols, very similar to them, but we use it instead to set up any kind of multimedia session over any kind of IP network. So it's a textual-based protocol for setting up telephony or multimedia sessions.
Okay, so and be really basic here, the acronym SIP, what does it stand for?
Session Initiation Protocol, so creating sessions.
Creating sessions, okay. What's the status of SIP today?
Well, I mean, SIP has gone from being fairly new in early 2000 into being, I think, a fairly mature protocol. I mean, it's being heavily developed still, so there's still a lot of issues to be solved. But I'd say it's gone to being a fairly mature protocol for building any kind of multimedia solution.
Okay.
So,
and the benefits of SIP, if you compare it to...
Well, my biggest sort of thing that I like about SIP is its flexibility. I mean, the fact that it's based on text makes it very easy to do rapid prototyping and just testing new solutions or new features. And I've used that several times myself in my development when I wanted to add an new feature to an existing project, and I just added a text string somewhere, and all of a sudden you had a new feature in your application. It's immensely flexible and easy to work with. The downside, of course, being that maybe sometimes it's a little bit too flexible, so you can get interoperability problems and so on. But the flexibility is definitely its being a strong point, I think.
It sounds to me like there's a lot of text parsing going on here. Do you have any?
Definitely. I mean, from like a performance perspective, you do spend a lot of time in parsing the text messages. So it's you have to sort of decide whether you want something highly optimized, like a binary stream, like the old telecom protocols used, or a less optimized signaling protocol, but easier to modify and add new features to. And I think they made the right choice. I like troubleshooting, and SIP is a very nice protocol to troubleshoot because of the simple encoding.
Okay. Where is it used today?
Well, I mean, when it came, like you said, it came with the sort of promise that it would transform all telephony into the internet, and we would just use the internet for all our telephony, and that hasn't really happened. Even chat, which I myself thought that all the chat channels and everything would be SIP-based in the future, even that hasn't happened, because we've got other protocols like XMPP and then WebRTC came in a little higher level and so on. So SIP hasn't really taken over in generic internet communication, but in the telecom operators world there's a lot of SIP going on that we don't see. A lot of old PSTN links have been migrated into using SIP instead, and the main use today is in the IMS networks that are used for voice over multimedia over mobile networks.
Okay. So kind of the backbone of operators.
The backbone of operator networks. And now with LTE, the only solution of using telephony in our LTE networks is using IP telephony. And then the IMS network comes in as a backbone, and IMS uses SIP. So that's the biggest usage of SIP today. I think even though we have other protocols that can also do IP telephony, I still think that SIP will have a big place as an interop protocol.
And that kind of also comes into the future of SIP.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, because of its flexibility, I definitely think that it might be used in a lot of other areas as well, because I mean, it's got presence features and just generic instant messaging and so on. And I would definitely like it to take over in more places because I like the protocol. But I think, as we said, like interoperability scenarios, translating between different protocols, SIP has a really great opportunity. But then just generic telephony is I think, the major stronghold of SIP. That's where it's going to evolve and add new features to our existing multimedia communication.
And also a lot of triple play solutions today, right?
Yeah.
To the homes, when you have cable modem, internet, TV, and...
Yeah, exactly. I mean, IPTV, you can integrate
telephone.
SIP and IPTV, even though there are other protocols involved and so on. So any kind of multimedia solution can use SIP, and I almost said can and should use SIP, but I'm a little partial there. But definitely, and like I said, interop to other protocols when you need to translate, and we need something globally that everyone talks, like the new ISUP for the IP world or something.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and I definitely think it's a protocol for the future.
Yeah. Thank you, Theis Ekvist, for joining me and enlightening me about this subject. My name is Gabriel Paus and I work at IP Solutions, and stay tuned to more tech talks here at the webpage. Bye.